Good morning. The loop has arrived at the station, and it's time to get your ass out of bed. That's it. That's that sound. It's the time to get your ass going, boys. It's the morning show. Mornings in the Lab with Keith Bilous. I'm that guy named Keith. The guy over there, it's Jon Andersen. And the guy just sitting over there, that's CMartyFit. Producer Flynn, she's off taking the kids to school today, but we're here to get you guys started, boys. We're talking insecurities, but we're keeping that conversation going. Overcoming insecurities and finding inner peace. Hey, a reminder, this is an explicit show. So if you have children in the area, you might want to throw the headphones on. You might want to tell the kids to leave the room. You might want to turn the volume up. We might drop a few F-bombs. But, we might talk a few things. We are going to talk eggplant deformity today, gentlemen. So if you're going to be chatting with your wife, get the eggplant ready. Get the eggplant emoji ready because it might be part of the conversation today. And, of course, you're getting to men's insecurities. Got a few other topics, creator spotlight. We got accountability check at the 15-minute mark of the hour. CMartyFit tip and, of course, the lifestyle tip of the day as well. All right, we're going to bring the boys in. I get some sensing there's some energy hanging out in the green room this morning. So we're going to bring in Jon, bring in Marty. Morning, boys.
What's going down? I got to come right out of the jump. Marty, take a look at that Kangol hat that the chief is wearing. Look at that. He is making he's making a big step towards being bougie, man. Those hats, I got some of those. Those things are not cheap either. That's like a $65, $70 ball cap.
Oh, yeah,
you know what, man? I think Keith might have been bougie for a while back in the ICUC days, but he's trying to put on the front now, and now we're seeing
Marty,
the real Keith. I'm just saying.
So Marty's known Keith here for a while, and he's getting to know Keith even more. So, as I've been watching the show come to life, and Anderson's been up in it, and Marty's been up in it, and I'm like, well, fuck, man, I got to up it too. So I've been slowly reaching into the anals of my closet. Is it that were the banals or anals of my closet?
I got the buttons back. Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Well, here's the thing. To be bougie, obviously you got number one, you got to have the cake to get the attire, but then two, you got to have the swagger that fits within it.
That's
and
it.
I tell you, we know he's got the cake and he's working on swagger.
We got to work on the swagger a little bit, man.
Well, if Adam House has anything to do with it, ain't going to be about basketball. Boys, ever since that one fucking comment that I made on the show a few weeks ago, I cannot go a day without getting a text.
Which comment was it? Because I keep hearing him going back to that. Which comment was it?
Well, apparently I think I might have said something about what's that guy's name? That Rodman guy. We talk about great basketball guys, and House was like, "Dude, you don't know nothing about basketball." So he does not let it go.
He doesn't It's the Rodman comment. Isn't like Rodman?
No, it was really bad. Like if you know basketball, your comment was really really bad. Like
thanks, Mark.
Really bad. I'm just being honest with you. It was that bad.
I got a funny Kangol story for you guys. So I don't, Marty, you know me, and Johnny, you're getting to know me too. I don't tend to share a lot of these kind of flippant stories. I can't maybe just, I remember when I sold the company, and I remember having a few bucks in the bank account. And Johnny, you can appreciate this. I remember going to the
real quick for everybody to understand. A few bucks is 50 million. So let's just be honest.
Come on, Jon.
For the people that don't know, they didn't understand our boy. He might be a little goofy, but he's a baller when it comes to dough.
He's a goofy baller.
That's it. You're hanging out with Keith, Marty, and Jon in the morning loop. The first 15 minutes of the show, you never know what we're going to say. You never know what we're talking about. We're talking about Kangol hats because Jon's taking us there. Johnny, I remember I sold the business, cashed the check, and was in New York City. Went to the Kangol store. Johnny,
good. Yeah, that's a great place, man. I've been wearing Kangols. Jesus Christ, I'm trying to think. We're talking probably 1995, back before anybody knew about them.
Yes. So I walked into the old Kangol store, Johnny, Marty, and I saw the old row of Kangols on the wall. I couldn't decide which one I wanted.
So you got to buy them all.
I did.
Yeah, that's what I'm with. Dude, I remember I had a similar story when I was 25, I didn't have the money.
Yeah.
And when I sold my first business, I was like, okay, I'm gonna get now I'm gonna get the Kangol that I need for every outfit.
Exactly, right, Johnny? Exactly. You're like, okay, I need that one for that one. I need a hat for that one. And then you go to the glass store, you buy the glasses for that outfit. I get you, brother. I get you. I know how it works.
I had to get a little deeper into my business equation before I started outfitting the Versace's, because the Kangols are $70, the Versace's are like $500 a pair, man. Yeah. So I mean, if you're getting the doozies anyway.
That's it.
Hey, look, when I want something nice, I gotta buy one. So y'all just motivating me. So I appreciate it.
Yes, that's it.
Give me some motivation.
You gotta start off with one.
I get one thing. That's my limit. That's it.
Oh, I think actually House might be listening. I just got a text from him, and oh no, he's I'm telling you, the guy's just texting me nonstop, dropping me everywhere. But hey, listen, we got Enzo joining us in the vertical stream here today. What's going on, brother? I know you have been trekking along the countryside of the future. And yes, we got over there as well. Real Deal Prime jumping in. What's going on, Real Deal? Good to have you here this morning. Good morning, my friend. Thank you for joining us here. Hey, this morning, guys, listen, you can join the show by liking the channel, Mornings in the Lab, subscribe to it, comment on it, and so forth. What's going on, Ken? I know we got you in the horizontal stream as well. Good morning, Michael Konetsky. Johnny, I'll share one more story, Marty. So since we're talking stories, I also remember I got a nice Hey, so what we're wearing? I got the Kangol hat on. I got nice gray John Varvatos shirt on, Anderson. I got some green shorts on. Johnny's got the black hat. He's got some black glasses. Nice black, what's it? FUCK shirt. And Marty's got the old brown, less French.
That's your fuck mental weakness is what that is.
Oh, it says fuck mental weakness. There you go. So hey,
is that your brand, John?
Yes,
that's your brand.
That's my shit. Yeah, we're actually rebrand. The logo is going to it's a square. It's actually going to get turned into a rectangle. So
I like that.
It's easier to identify what it says, because people are always intrigued, but it takes them a second to figure it out.
I like that. So fuck mental. What is that, Johnny? Fuck mental.
Fuck mental weakness. Fuck excuses.
Yeah, there you go.
Fuck average.
That's it. So you want to get some good gear, go check out the Jon Andersen over on Instagram. And of course, less brunches and more crunches with the CMartyFit. We're in the old brown shirt.
Man, you know the vibes.
And the red beats. But Johnny, I remember again cashing the big paycheck, going to Vegas. And I was like, okay, let's go have some fun. Walk to the John Varvatos store. And listen, granted, I grew up blue collar, had to scratch some nickels together to make a quarter. So, I had some money. I had some fun with it. Went to the Varvatos store and shop. The guy gives me my bill.
What was it?
$15,000.
Oh, mercy.
I was like,
he was having some fun, baby.
Man, you had a lot of fun, man.
Oh, so first time in my life I'd ever done that. And I'm telling you, you talk about mental mindfuck, Johnny Andersen, from not having any money and all of a sudden dropping 15 grand on clothes. That whole weekend, my head was mindfucked, man. I was like, oh my God, I just like, what? Like, it's just wrapping your head around that whole thing. Cause and because when you have,
brother.
Yes.
I'm telling you, even today, if Terry and I go into a Highline shopping center, I'm going to Versace. She's going to Gucci.
Yeah.
And when it comes down to it, if we can skin out of there at $5K a piece, we did pretty good.
Yes. Well, it's like, in the modern day world, it's like going to Costco. Hey, Marty, and not just spending $20. You can't go to Costco and not drop $200, $300, $400. It's just not going to happen.
Or Target.
Yeah. And they're building a Costco just down the road, Marty. So you know where focus was? They're building a Costco right there. So I think
man.
Marty,
so
Johnny.
I'm gonna be in there when I get back.
Yes, exactly. So the family income has just gone down with that news announcement, because when Lauren goes to the store, Johnny, it ain't going to be just $20 or $50. It's going to be like easily a few $100. Easily.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, every time Terry leaves to go to the grocery store, I can pretty much figure it's going to be about just a little shy of $1,000, because she doesn't like to shop often. So she literally drives her 911 to a grocery store.
Yeah,
she comes back. The only place available to sit is where she is, because she's got that thing completely filled with grocery bags.
Oh man.
Yeah,
and I'm suspecting much of it is meat, Jon Andersen.
Dude, look at my story. If you see my story on Instagram, you see that there was like 6 massive tri-tips, and those things got smoked last night. Nothing better than when I wake up at shortly after 3, and I walk out in the house and I can smell that smoke. Oh, she leaves it on the counter for me. I look at, oh baby, let's go.
That's a nice thing to wake up to, eh?
I'm telling you, brother, Terry takes wonderful care of me. Speaking of Terry, listen to this. So
yeah,
I'm doing Terry time, which is that, the end part of the day.
Yes.
And so we were going to go in the hot tub and take a jump in the pool. We figured let's just kind of walk around the yard a little bit. The lake house, we got almost an acre, so it's a fairly large area, but we planted tons of, we bought this place, brought 50 palm trees. I mean, we just really planted the shit out of it. We just like to walk around and check stuff out. Well, there's an anthill. And I wasn't paying too much attention to it, but she had this idea. She wanted to, get rid of it. She's doing her thing. They were, what were they? They were red ants. Yeah. Either way, big old suckers. One of them, bad ones. Oh, dude, one of them got in her flip flop. She stepped on it. It bit her. Ouch. I mean, she said she's been stung by bees, wasps. Never ever has she had such a bad pain that lasted so long.
No brutal. Shit, eh? Those little ants, man, just get everywhere.
Oh, dude, crazy. I got a whole new respect for those little bastards. I was like, okay, I see that anthill. I'm going that way.
Oh, wow.
Hey, you're hanging out with Keith, Jon, CMartyFit, and the Ants here in the morning show. The morning loop, the first 15 minutes of your day. Even though we don't call it a day, we call it the start of the loop. And you go throughout your whole 24-hour cycle and it restarts every single day at 8 o'clock Eastern time, right here on YouTube, X, LinkedIn. It's funny, boys. I was talking to somebody yesterday. He's like, man, I love your guys' show. You guys like all pro and shit. You guys like have like commercials. You guys like have segments. You're not like a couple dudes just sitting in the corner talking. I'm like, no, we're actually just three bros talking. But speaking of bros, Johnny and Marty, aching backs. I talked about this in the opener here today. Gentlemen, get your eggplant emoji ready.
I think I know where this is going, but that could go a lot of different directions. I don't see Marty rolling out of the screen yet.
Eggplant and aching backs. It sounds crazy right now. I don't know where we're going.
Are you saying rolling over, Johnny? Well,
no, he always rolls out of the screen when something gets really nasty.
Speaking of rolling, sometimes men wake up with a morning wood.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Sometimes when men wake up with a morning wood, they roll over and they break it. Aching backs, muscle pulls, and carpet burns are some of the most common sex injuries, gentlemen. After all, sex can be a vigorous activity. It's no wonder that some people think it counts as moderate exercise. However, sometimes an injury.
I can't stand that.
Sometimes an injury.
I can't stand when people say that's their exercise for the day. Continue, Keith. I'll talk about it when you're done. I will go,
brother. I gotta jump in there, brother. I know you still got some years to go, but when you're
no, John, we're not doing this today, John. We're not doing.
I'm just telling you, when the setting is right, when I finally get done, bro, I'm looking to grab a hold of something because I'm not standing up very well on my own.
Yeah.
Listen, John, it might be because you're 280. You moving a lot more weight than most men, brother. That's why.
Either way, man. When the heart is beating and you're gasping for air, that's considered exercise. Whatever got you there. Man.
Oh, I love it. Sometimes though, an injury can be a lot more serious and downright painful. Boys, we're referring to what is known as the eggplant deformity. Recently, media reports 2 cases. One of a 50-year-old man in Indonesia who was diagnosed with the condition after he injured his penis during sex. The other one is a 27-year-old guy who rolled over with an erect penis in the middle of the night and he fractured it.
Dude, that thing must have been like a diamond cutter. It was so hard.
Probably had a good dream.
To be, I would say, to roll over, that thing must have been so stiff. I mean, I can't even imagine that doesn't even make sense to me. What?
You have dreams like that, you ain't let it out in a while. You gotta let it out, brother. You got to figure out. You got to figure something out.
Clear out the mechanism, baby. You know.
Yeah. Eggplant deformity occurs because of blunt force trauma during sexual intercourse with a partner. A penile fracture.
Is this really called eggplant, or is this just your version of it?
No, it's actually called eggplant deformity. Yeah. A penile fracture happens when your erect penis slips out of the vagina or anus and hits the other person's pelvic bone or perineum mid-thrust. The blunt force can cause your penis to bend, gentlemen, and fracture. The word fracture here isn't referring to a bone-related injury, Johnny.
Cartilage.
What you're injuring instead, Marty, is the corpora cavernosa and the tunica albusa There's also a sex position that's most likely to injure men when women are on top. So if the woman's on top, she can absolutely hurt you. However, apart from sex and rolling over on an erect penis during sleep, you can get an eggplant deformity, gentlemen, from rough masturbation. And it's not just from the death grip.
That's crazy.
I got to tell you, man, this is all news to me in terms of first off, just referring to the male penis as an eggplant. I mean, goodness gracious. Because when people talk smack on my account, a lot of times they're going to use that eggplant as if they're saying, like, they're referencing dick, they're going to put that eggplant. I thought this was just like social media slang. I didn't think it was a medical term.
John, so if you hear an audible pop or a cracking sound when the injury occurs, you need to go to the doctor. It is immediate medical attention. So Johnny, you and me as the old men, if that happens, brother, we got to get on the phone, man. We got to get to the doc ASAP. It's as simple as that. So the pain and swelling itself should alert you that you've been injured and you should seek help. Surgery is a course of action. However, it is rare. But the what it's recommended by doctors is that make sure there's adequate lubrication, being extra cautious during vigorous penetrative sex, and being mindful of your sleep position when erect can all help prevent eggplant deformity. And Johnny, for you and I, older men with softer erections are more at risk. So something to be ahead of. And white trash comes in the comments I call it a kickstand. So mornings in the lab with Keith, Jon, and CMarty. We're having some fun here in the morning loop here, the first 50 minutes of the show where we talk about things that you don't know what we're talking about. Yes, Laugh-O Bread, Marty is having none of this. And white trash says, yes, I have a fender bender in the bedroom when she was bouncing out of control.
Goodness gracious.
Oh, there we go. All right, Jimmy.
The craziest part about that one, all of it made sense except for the rolling over. I have a hard time relating to that one.
It's a good dream, bro.
I guess I need to learn to dream better. I've never had one of those dreams.
Yeah, I ain't had none of them dreams either. And I had some good dreams.
All right, it's the 18-minute mark of the hour here. We're going to get into the accountability check-in, Jimmy. And Marty's going to go for a stretch. Johnny's going to the cutter. And I am going to start.
Hold on. I got to get something straight here. I've heard both you and Marty use the cutter the wrong way. The cutter, you don't use the cutter when you're taking a piss. You use the cutter when you're taking a dump.
Well, I know. I thought you were going for a dump.
That was yesterday.
Oh, that was yesterday's routine.
Yeah. Remember, I told you. I said I didn't get the third one out before there was time to get set up, so I had to get.
Come on,
put number 3 down during the accountability check-in.
So anybody tuning in right now, the show's about men's insecurities. And right now we've been talking about eggplant fractures and going for dumps. And we're just not. Good thing Kristina's not here. She's hanging out with the kids this morning. What's going on, Kristina? Hey,
Kristina's gonna love this one.
We should phone Kristina.
I gotta say, Kristina. I love Kristina. Kristina is a savage, and I say that. But when I said she's got nuts, when I say she's a savage, this is love. You could say nuts, guts. She's got it. She's got it.
That's that hooper mentality, man.
That's it.
Something about us that used to hoop,
Kristina she's a beast, man. She's been a welcome addition to the team. So, all right, boys, let's do the accountability check-in. Let's get this rolling here, right here. Where's my button? There it is. Okay. Guys, get out of here. Let's get you off the screen. Let's get you off the screen. Oh, man. Boom. Okay. All right, Jimmy, we're having some fun this morning. Woo! Until you accept yourself, until you accept yourself, nobody's going to accept you. You know what? I get it. Societal pressure, it's real. You look around and people are judging you. There's that pressure. It's exhausting on most days, frankly. But when you're okay with who you are, those expectations that are around you, they just stop controlling you. Accountability. We love talking accountability here in the lab. It is not just about hitting goals. It's about being true to the person, you in the mirror, to your own values, your own ideals. Because your people are out there. They're out there. They're all around you, but they're not going to find you, nation, until you start owning who you are in your own mirror. So as you're getting your day started and getting your ass out of bed and not hitting the snooze button today, you hit the snooze, you're 9 minutes behind. I invite you to look in the mirror and ask yourself, what's one thing you are learning to accept about yourself today? You accept that about yourself today, tomorrow gets that much easier. That's your accountability check-in. We drop it every single day around this time, 15, 16-minute mark in the show. A little bit of advice, commentary, and comments to help you get your day rolling and rocking and rolling. On the morning show, Mornings in the Lab, myself, Keith Bilous, Jon Andersen, getting back from the pisser. Marty Fit. Boys. All right, we're going to get some insecurity chat here coming up in a couple of moments. But I want to tell you guys here, we're gonna get the main conversation going on with insecurities in a second. But before we do that,
great topic, brother. Great topic, because I'll tell you, we're all insecure.
Yes.
How do we manage it? That's all it comes down to.
That's exactly it. But before we go there, boys, we get some great engagement from Business Athlete Nation, from people after the show. They're knocking on my door. Getting back to foods. And I know, Johnny, what I love since I've met you is the simplicity of what you've introduced to my life. Just the whole idea of, and we know single ingredient foods and whole food, but people still have to learn and ask about, it's just such a major part of our life, right? Food, right? Mm-hmm. So I found a list yesterday, boys, and I just want to kind of go through them because people are going throughout their day right now. And I found this list that I thought we can maybe kind of lean into it a little bit, which is, and I know, John, we're not going to lean into the word low calorie. We don't want to talk about the energy value of calorie. I want to talk about just giving something for people to eat throughout the day, Marty and John. It's single ingredient ideas, Johnny, right? We're all about giving nuggets here, right? So cucumbers, incredibly low in calories, full of water, cruciferous. Johnny, cucumbers. Marty, cucumbers.
Well, the thing that I love cucumbers, but I don't like the idea that people eat them to try to get themselves to feel full. Because when you make a practice of looking for foods to eat to make yourself feel full, you're watering the wrong plant, so to speak. What you want to do is you want to focus on giving yourself something to eat that gives your body what it needs, so that you're happier, healthier, and you have more energy and more focus. When you give your body people are always looking for ways to eat something low calorie, and all it does is give them a little bit of immediate satiation, but the body is looking for more.
So let's keep going here then, my friend. Good morning, good time. Good to have you here, pal. I'm glad you checked in this morning.
I'm gonna add in too. No, I have cucumbers every day in my BAS. You know what a BAS is?
No, but I want to know.
No.
Big ass salad.
And there we go. Cucumbers are great, but just don't lean on it as some sort of a way to fill yourself up.
There you go.
I'm not just going to eat it by itself, but go ahead, Keith.
Yeah, so let's keep going then. So we got cucumbers, celery, watermelon, broccoli. So Johnny, Marty, are you leaning into those foods for people to help them get through the day? Or, John, are you saying, no, don't eat that. Go grab yourself a bag of nuts or some protein like an egg or a chunk of meat instead in a baggie? Talk about that, Johnny.
100%. When your body's asking for fuel, you got to give it fuel. You don't when your car is on reserve and that really little red light goes on.
Yes.
You don't pull over to the side of the road and take a piss in the gas tank. It's not giving the car what it needs. Well, when the body says, hey, I need some fuel, and you put a bunch of shit in there that doesn't have any value, that's piss in the gas tank.
Yeah. Good morning, Jack Dugan. I know you found us last week, and I appreciate you joining us here this morning. Yes, these are some good topics this morning. We're talking about foods that will fill you up. But again, nation, we're all about giving information. So some of you might be looking for some food to fill you up during the day. John's considering to offer you the idea of don't just fill yourself up for the sake of filling yourself up. we want to encourage proper habits. So while yes, having some broccoli, having some celery and watermelon is going to fill you up, it might be sending the wrong signals to your brain, is what John's talking about. Hey, Johnny?
It all comes down to your body's a creature, right? So when it's time to feed your dog, do you feed, or your pet of any nature, do you feed your pet some sort of food that is going to make him feel better for a few minutes, but then he's going to be hungry in 15 or 20? Absolutely not. It doesn't make any sense.
Love that analogy.
We treat our pets better than we treat ourselves. And the idea, when the body needs some nourishment, is to give it a little bit of nourishment. And if you're constantly giving it nourishment, then you're not in this feeling of, oh my God, I gotta eat, because you're giving it what it needs, and it's not sending you those signals that says eat something now. If you're hungry and you eat, say, celery, or what else were we just talking about? The
cucumbers.
The cucumber. That's not going to it's not going to stabilize blood sugar. That blood sugar is going to keep going down. Next thing you know, your brain sends out an emergency signal, says, I need sugar now, because low blood sugar is lethal. Low or high blood sugar will kill the body. So the body says, give me sugar, sends out a signal that doesn't give a shit what you eat. That's why there's a certain point where you could have a Snickers in your hand, and it doesn't make a difference who says what. Your brain is justified eating that Snickers no matter what's going down. Your blood sugar has gotten so low, your body's in a survival mode, and it's telling you eat that candy bar.
Yeah. I love this conversation because it's so polarizing. There's so many people, and it's funny because then the comments just light up, right? So Erwin jumps in and says, people who eat cucumbers to fill up are the same people that eat rice cakes. LOL. Yeah, there's actually probably some truth to that. And when I hear you say that, because I've been on that train, boys, I've been on that train with, which is okay, I got to eat some rice cakes. When in reality, as I'm listening to you speak, Johnny, that idea of eating the rice cakes is really just this idea of fulfilling something in my brain saying eat.
And it's
like I'm not actually hungry. I'm not actually hungry.
Exactly. It's the hand to mouth thing. It's basically pouring gasoline on a fire that you want to go out.
Yes.
In this conversation, I had a totally different idea for my fit tip, but I'm going to take my fit tip right down this pipe, because it's going to be such a simple, good, actionable tip that will help people have more energy, more focus. And it's so easy and actionable. So wait for the fit tip, everyone. The lifestyle tip. Sorry,
Marty.
It's all good. Hey, look, John trying to be like me again. But,
I love it.
But I just wanted to add one thing too.
Yeah.
When you're training to be like an athlete, or you're training for a physique, I think it's best to get out that mind of snacking and just eat meals. Even if it's a smaller meal and you can consider it a snack, you're better off doing a lean protein source and a carb, even if it's a small amount, rather than, let me just get a piece of fruit for a snack,
Yes.
On that level, brother, what I do in the language and the vocabulary of my clients is I get rid of the word meal, I get rid of the word snack, and I call it a feeding. We need a proper feeding.
Yes.
It can be little, or it can be the full amount, or it can be a little one. But it's a feeding.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yep. All right, we're hanging with Keith, Jon, and Marty. We're talking some food that make you full. And I put this on the table in many ways as I'm looking for the word here, as a contrast, because what we're actually trying to teach you guys is not to eat for the sake of eating. I'm trying to teach you not to eat for the sake of just trying to feel full. What I'm trying to throw on the table here is to get Jon and Marty talking about what you really want to be doing is eating whole foods to make yourself full and nutrient dense foods, not just eating for the sake of feeding. Johnny.
And I just got a really I believe that when I explain this is going to make sense to people. So the idea of eating until you're full, you're talking about a stretch in your stomach. That's satiation until many people, right? Because you've eaten enough, celery or whatever you're eating to get, enough to feel something in your stomach, when that's not the goal. The goal is to put something in your stomach where the body relaxes because it knows what it has. So really don't think about getting full. Think about getting the body what it needs so it stops sending the signal.
Yeah, this is one thing that I've learned from Johnny since hanging out with him, is just rewiring my brain about thinking about eating food for purpose, not for pleasure. Mm-hmm. Right. And when you wrap it around that, that's a mindset shift, and it's so simple. But when you think that way,
Yes, man. Yeah, and the thing about it, don't get all freaked out. Oh, I want to enjoy my food. You should enjoy your food.
Exactly.
So, but think of it like this: Are you eating, like something quick on the run because it's going to help you do what you do for the day? Or are you going out to dinner with your family and you're going to enjoy that meal with your family? You can go out to dinner whenever you want to. You just need to order the right foods and stay focused on the fact that the enjoyment is really spending the time with the ones you love, and the food is just kind of a side dish. Literally, it's not the focus. The people and the love is the focus, and the food is just something that everybody is doing together as a commune.
And let me add this in there too. A lot of people, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, I gotta eat boring. I gotta eat like a bird," and it's like, I'm asking you to eat whole foods. If you can't somehow enjoy chicken, fish, steak, if you can't enjoy vegetables or enjoy potatoes or rice or sweet potatoes, you got another issue. If you can't enjoy those regular foods, you got a serious addiction to sugar, fried foods, and grease. And that's out of my expertise.
And brother, you are so correct, because most, especially Americans, whole foods don't taste good because it's not filled with all the shit. Because here's the thing. The food companies, what they do is they put massive amounts of sugar and sodium. They cancel each other out. So you don't taste one or the other. You just get this really rich tasting food because you got these two that come together that are massive tastes, but they're not out of balance. Like if you eat something with too much salt, you're like, oh. But if you obviously eat something with sugar and salt, like the sweet, salty treats are amazing. Because you got this really intense flavor of both. Well, that's what they're doing in Triscuits and all the other shit. So you got to remember, if you're eating processed foods, you're promoting a taste bud that really should be kind of put to sleep.
We're going to come up with a fit tip here in a moment here, but I'm going to invite you guys. If you guys are looking for some great food tips throughout your day, and just some ideas, go check out the Jon Andersen on Instagram. The boy's got some great food tips that'll pop into your feed. Throwing chicken in a Ziploc bag, the power of Metamucil, the power of oh man, Marty, chicken thighs. Oh my God. I love fucking chicken thighs.
Man.
Right?
Come on, baby.
Hey,
Come on, baby.
Chicken breasts and chicken thighs, because the bodybuilder world, chicken breast, chicken breast, chicken breast, chicken breast, chicken breast. Johnny, chicken thighs, brother.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Right?
Well, technically, chicken breast is a better option because it has less fat, higher protein.
Yes,
but it is so freaking boring.
But here's the thing, Marty, is that the chicken breast doesn't have the micronutrient value that the breast has, and that's the true currency to the body. So what you do, and what I explain for people to do is just, if you get that chicken thigh that's got all the fat on there, just trim off that excess fat. There's a little more fat in the meat, but it's also accompanied with a slew of micronutrients, which the body needs. So you're going to get way more out of a chicken thigh than a chicken breast. And I'm not just talking about building.
Never heard that before.
And I'm not just talking about building muscle. I'm talking about well-being. I'm talking about how you feel, your focus. There's vitamins and minerals in there.
Never heard that.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
I'm getting some chicken thighs today.
It's like the difference between the whole egg and the egg white. Whole egg, way better than just the egg white.
Yeah, hey, baby Lauren, if you're listening, I think we're having chicken thighs for dinner tonight. We're gonna go lean into John and Terry's Instagram feed, and I'm gonna call Marty up, and we're gonna.
Does Terry have Instagram?
She does.
Yeah, we're gonna go and find some good food to eat here. So hey, guess who's joining us in the feed right now, boys? Somebody I was talking to yesterday, Rich Ingram. Ooh, what's going on, Richie Rich? And no, we're not going to hit Marty.
Dude, Rich is the bomb, baby. I'm telling you. You want to talk about a savage? Come on, baby.
Yeah, I
agree. The bomb.
All joking aside, Richie's been with us a couple times here in the lab. He is a beast. He is a goat. He is a bomb. He is going to be spending more time in the lab with us, guys. If you don't know who Rich Ingram is, you're going to get to know Rich over the coming days and weeks. We're going to invite him here in the lab as we continue to build the Business Athlete Performance Lab. We're going to do some collabs with Rich, the raw resilience guy. The guy lost his arm in Iraq, comes back to North America, and is like, I'm not going to fucking sit around. I'm going to go and attack life. And instead of making excuses, boys, what's he do, Johnny and Marty? It's like, no, I'm going to go solve problems. Solve problems. Solve problems. He gets in a bike, endurance athlete, crushing the Leadville 100. Like the guy takes. For somebody sitting around right now, sitting around your house, laying in bed, going, "Oh, I don't want to go do something. Oh, I'm fucking lazy right now." Go look at Rich Ingram.
Listen, if you have both hands, then you need to be grateful, because this dude right here has got one hand, actually one arm, and he crushes life. He absolutely crushes life. Straight up savage. If this dude doesn't inspire you, man, you need to have another look at yourself in the mirror, because
Johnny, I'll say this: if this dude doesn't inspire you, because Rich is going to be joining the show here in the coming weeks for a segment. We're going to be doing raw resilience with Rich Ingram.
Love it.
If he doesn't inspire you, then don't tune into our show. Go listen to somebody else's show. Like, honest to God, like go listen to some pussy somewhere else. Go listen to some fucking Slack show over there. We're doing a show to help you guys get going, and the guy like Rich is going to get you going every single day. All right, Marty, you ready for the fit tip, brother?
Yeah, I'm ready. You see what look at Jimmy in a private chat. He asked you something. Like, I'm ready though.
Oh, do I want to see what Jimmy asked me in the private chat?
It's not bad.
Okay, we're gonna get back to that question in a second. Here, we're gonna do this.
I'm sure John wants to tackle that one.
We're gonna do this.
I'm actually trying to get over there to look and see what he says.
We're gonna do the fit tip in a set. We're gonna do a fit tip with Marty Fit, and then we're gonna come back into some questions and get into men's insecurities. A great chat, a great show here today. Mornings in the lab. Man. Subscribe, like, comment on the channel. Johnny's going to go for a piss, and I'm going to do that.
That's
Cutter.
That's it.
No, Cutter's already done for the day.
Oh, man. These guys are hilarious. All right, let's get the fitness tip for the day. All right, what is HIIT and who is it for? And if you want more explanation on this, check out my podcast. I did a podcast on HIIT yesterday. But anyway, what is HIIT and who is it for? High-intensity interval training is a workout method that alternates between short bursts of intense activity and periods of rest or low-intensity movement, right? Designed to push your body to its limits, right? For a brief amount of time, you recover, right? Make an efficient movement for fat burning and improve cardiovascular health. So who is this for? We got busy people. HIIT workouts can be done for 20 minutes, 30 minutes. People who don't have a lot of time, you got to get in the gym, get out, and it's going to offer the same or better results for as longer cardio sessions, right? You can get that done in 20 or 30 minutes. Fat loss goals. If your primary goal is fat loss, which is majority of us, all of us, HIIT boosts your metabolism and triggers the afterburn effect, where your body is continuing to burn calories after the workout and throughout the rest of the day, similar to strength training or lifting weights. All right, athletes and fitness enthusiasts, HIIT can improve endurance, speed, and overall performance by pushing your cardiovascular system to work harder in a shorter period of time. Those of us like myself, we do athletic movements. We want to stay athletic. We want to stay moving our bodies optimally. HIIT is perfect for us, right? So beginners can do it. Advanced people can do HIIT. HIIT is adaptable for any fitness level. Beginners can start with basic body weight movements, while advanced athletes can incorporate more complex exercises, all right? So you can be new to fitness. You can be a seasoned athlete. HIIT is going to be time efficient, and it's going to be an effective way to boost your fat burn and improve your heart health. That's the fitness tip for today.
Fit tip of the day. We drop it every single day at the bottom of the hour, running a few minutes behind because we are talking food, eggplant deformities, all the great topics here on the morning show. The only show, boys, to help you guys get yourself going every single day. Positive conversation, positive motivation, content to move you forward in life. Jimmy, we're going to move the lifestyle tip of the day to the top of the hour, Johnny. So we're going to go there about 20 minutes from now. So, but we got a question in the comments, and I'm going to throw it over at Johnny here from White Trash. I do an 18-hour fast every day, and I still weigh 245, but I'm 6'8". Johnny, comment on that.
Well, I think that when people are doing fast, I think for the most part, I think people are kind of doing it for the wrong reason. They're doing it for like a calorie limitation thing. If they shorten their eating window, they're going to take in less calories, which is very true. But that kind of puts you subscribing to the calorie deficit methodology, and I don't really subscribe to that. So I would say, if to answer the question, if you learn how to eat in a way to feed your metabolism, you'll shed that weight really quick and you'll feel better and you get to enjoy eating.
Hey, Johnny, there's something to be, let's talk about this for a second. There's something to be said for finding what works for you, right? Yep. And I want to talk about this for a second. So we do a program together. You go, okay, Keith, I want you to, we're not going to talk calories. Keith, I want you to eat these foods, these macronutrients to add up to your numbers, your fats, your carbs, your proteins, your micros, etc. Right?
I won't do it that way. I'm not going to tell you I'm not talking macros with you.
Right. Okay. So, but you're going to say, you know, I want you to eat these foods, right?
Yep.
I'm going to say to you that I would prefer to eating my foods within this window of time because what makes me feel better as a human being. Are you gonna subscribe to that theory, or are you going to say, no, you need to eat it this way?
Well, the first thing I'm going to do is look at the food you're eating during that window of time, and almost undoubtedly the wrong one. So if you're wanting to feel better, then let my expertise show you how to feel better. Let's not worry about the eating window. Let's worry about eating the right foods at the right time with the right digestion to, you know, basically to reprompt your gut to start remaking the serotonin, and everything changes when you learn how to do this from the inside out is a better way to put it.
Gotcha.
And I've had people that will be like, well, I didn't eat dinner because I don't want to eat after 7 o'clock. And, you know, this goes right along with what we're saying. It doesn't matter what time you eat. It just matters what quality food are you putting in your body.
Yes.
You know, obviously you don't want to eat right before you go to bed. But if you had to eat a little bit later than normal, if you had to eat at 7 or 7:30 or 8, if you had to eat dinner that late, then that's fine as long as you're eating quality food.
There you go. Awesome.
I can't tell you how many of my clients I will have them eat literally right before bed, because in their minds, right, that's something that's going to put them in a better place. They can sleep better. And if I need the diet is important, but sleep is right there with it. And if you're feeding them, just like Marty said, if you're feeding the right foods, even eating right before bed with the right foods, with the right amounts is going to help the process.
There you go. Very good. Good morning. Good morning, Ambush. What's going on? Glad to have you here on the show. Hey, everybody in the comments. Love having your comments. Throw questions in, throw comments in there. Keep them safe. Keep them within the guardrails. We get outside the guardrails. We're gonna throw you out of the comments. We want to have a very safe, all-inclusive space for all you to join the conversation and have some fun with us. And I invite you to subscribe to the channel. Mornings in the Lab. Comment, like it, share it with your friends, and so forth. We're talking men's insecurities. We're going to get into it here. For the last week or so, we've been talking about 14 main insecurities that men face. We've talked about physical appearance, body image, career progress, financial stability, sexual performance and endurance, vulnerability, feelings, stability, authenticity, expectations, fatherhood and parenting, status, popularity, aging and decline, self-worth, mental health, and emotional well-being. And we got 3 left to tackle here over the next day or so, next couple of days. We're going to get into So today, I want to lean into competency and skills and hobbies. We're going to start there right now, move into sexual orientation and identity, and then being introverted or too quiet. So kicking this one off is competency in skills and hobbies. And I can tell you this one, I got some feelings around. Marty, Johnny, a 2022 study in social psychology found that 50% of men feel embarrassed when they cannot perform tasks expected of them by societal norms. And then the next one is 60% of men surveyed in GQ in 2023 admitted to lying about their skills to avoid feeling inadequate. And boys, I'll go first. I got a hammer for Christmas one year, boys. I opened it up. I looked at it. I looked at my mom and dad and I was like, what the hell is this? What do I do with this? Right. So when it comes to blue collar type activities using hands, manual labor, building shit, I feel remarkably inadequate because my father was that, and a lot of my uncles, and that kind of half of my life is all of that. I suck at all that, boys. And I have struggled with that going through life because I just have felt really inadequate about these. Like, so if something breaks in the house, I'm like, okay, so what the hell do I got to do? I guess I got to make a phone call and pull the visa out. Johnny, Marty?
I'm all over this one. First off, the way you felt was real and it was true, because bottom line is when we start something new, when we engage in something new, you're going to suck. That's okay. That's just the way it works. So when you realize, okay, I'm new to this, I'm going to suck, but I'm going to get better. It takes that pressure away. Now, I think where the problem comes for people is they suck and they don't work to get better. So of course they're going to feel like shit about themselves. When you know you suck and you don't invest energy to improve. It's the improvement that makes you feel good. You might still suck, but you're improving. And that's what makes a person feel good. So for this statistic, you know, if you're in this statistic and you're feeling like you're not up to par, especially if it's new to you, or if you never worked on it, that's just the way it's going to be. So don't feel poorly about yourself. Just invest some time to get better.
Marty, I was going to ask you. Yeah,
I did want to tackle this.
Yeah.
So I look at it like this, man. I can do a lot of handy stuff. I could put stuff together. I got a project I'm working on. Y'all going to see soon back here.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But I have trouble changing a tire. Like, I got to get on YouTube whenever I got to change a tire.
Yes.
Yes.
I had a car issue the other day. I didn't know what to do. I had to change my battery. I didn't know how to do that.
Yes.
But if you need to move to a different house or a different apartment, I'm good. I'm good at lifting stuff. You know?
Yes.
I'm good at a lot of manly things, and that's okay if there's something that you don't know how to do. But I've had people to try to make me feel like I'm less of a man because I couldn't do that. You know,
well,
I don't want to go on a tangent, but it's a real thing, and it's a real thing men could be insecure about.
Yes.
Well, brother, I mean, let's make it a real life scenario with, say, you and I, Marty. Let's just say we go shoot some hoops, right? You're an expert at that. I suck at jump shots, but I don't work on it. So it's expected that I suck. Am I going to feel bad because I suck at jump shots and I don't try? No.
Yeah.
It's simple. I mean, granted, it's simple in the regards that if you feel this way and you're not putting in the work, you're going to continue to feel this way. But if you feel this way and you start improving, you're going to chip away at that insecurity, because insecurities come down to this. We have to work on them and manage them. You're not just going to, turn your back to an insecurity, have it go away. It's just going to get worse.
And I know you're trying to move on, Keith. I got to add this in there.
No, keep going, brother.
And then we're all striving to get better. I'm sure we all have a role model. We're trying to, maybe you guys want to be like Schwarzenegger. Maybe I want to be like y'all. Yeah. Right. But I guarantee if Schwarzenegger has a flat tire, he's probably not changing it. He's probably calling someone to change it too. So that's another way to look at, if someone tries to make you feel insecure about certain things like that. That's just my opinion on it.
No, Marty, I listen. That has been my mantra. What motivates me to work my ass off is because I don't know how to change the tire. I don't know how to fix my roof or fix my door. So I believe that if I can do great work here, create good content here, I can then make money, afford to call somebody to come fix my tire. That's just the choice I've made in life, right? So rightly or wrongly, because I still have insecurities, Johnny. When they could build something from nothing, and I'm looking at them like, how did you do that? But yet you put them behind a computer or digital marketing in the world that we live in, and they're like, I have no idea what clue. But I still, to this day, as a 52-year-old man, still battle my own insecurities with like the handyman stuff that I suck at, boys.
Absolutely. Here's the thing. We're all insecure. We're talking about the handyman thing is a pretty easy insecure. Yes. That's a pretty easy one to climb over the top of, but let's talk about the shit that comes that really rots us from the inside. Let's talk about the fact that most people they're deathly afraid of taking their shirt off at the pool or the beach. Yes. Or, the list of insecurities goes on. And the bottom line is, the way I look at insecurities is we all have them, and they're all very, very different, and they're all equally traumatizing to all of us based on what they are. And my position with insecurities is if I don't invest my energy and time to, let's just call it manage them, because you don't really fix them. Yeah. That they're going to continue to, haunt me. Yes. So I would rather face it head on and just chip away at it. You're never going to fix it. You're going to manage it. As long as you make a little bit of progress with whatever it is that's got you by the short and curlies, you're going to be a happier person. And I think that's the whole thing is insecurities. We all have them. You could really get down me goodness. As an adult, because of the learning disabilities that I had as young, and I still battle them, reading is challenging for me. So there are times when I'm basically asked to read something and I'm like, son of a bitch, I'm going to do the best I can, but I know I'm not going to be sucking all this shit up. And there are times where I realize, okay, you know what? I'm just going to have to be honest with this person and say, hey, I read this But I'll be honest, if I really, really wanted to understand this all the way, I would have had my wife or one of my daughters read it to me so that I could take my reading skills and overlap theirs over the top of it. Then I would be totally confident. And being honest about your insecurity, but then at the same time, I make sure that I read every day, because when I read every day, I'm working on my skill, working on my insecurity. And, you know, that's how I manage it. You know, I have massive insecurities about being fat, which is freaking ridiculous. But I was traumatized as a youngster being overweight. Shouldn't say youngster, a good chunk of my life.
Because there's no logic in that in your head, right? Like that
makes no sense.
It doesn't, right? I like that you admit that.
But I still have it. And just because it doesn't make any sense doesn't mean it's not alive inside me. So I always make the joke. When I execute my daily loop, I keep the fat son of a bitch on the other side of the mirror when I look in the mirror. If I don't do my daily loop, he climbs on this side, which is the reality side. And now I'm haunted with that insecurity.
Yeah. Marty?
No, I love it. I love it. So John, we're talking about just the handyman shit that we're insecure about. Let's talk professional. I went through a part of my career where I was incredibly insecure. Right? Built this business, built a virtual business, sold it to a company that went to offices and at New York City and Boston and London, these big offices. Everybody went to the office. I'm not an office guy. I'm not like a corporate leader guy. I'm not somebody who goes to the office and stands next to his cohorts and collaborates. Like I'm like yourself, Johnny, or like yourself, Marty. So when I sold the business and I was being invited to conferences or being invited to go to these meetings and spending time with executives, boys, I was incredibly insecure. When the pandemic happened and people were forced to work from home and work this way, I was like, oh, hey, I'm good at this. Like, I'm really good at doing this kind of stuff. And that's where I really came out. But man, I still to this day, when the feeling of having to go to a big meeting in some city with a bunch of executives makes me extremely nervous and insecure. One thing I've learned, Johnny, as a 52-year-old, and it's just something you learn through age, is I'm okay talking about it. And I'm okay sharing it, because I know the guy across the table from me, or I know the guy sitting next to me, is battling the same insecurities, just hasn't found the time in his life to talk about it yet, like we're talking about it right now, John.
It's so true. And here's I'll just literally pull my pants all the way down here. I mean, literally, because of my beginning, because of my insecurities of being a fat little boy and learning disabilities, get picked on.
Yeah.
Thank God I had all that shit. Thank God those insecurities, because that's what drove me to be me.
Yes.
And I'm really, really pleased and happy with the life that I got to lead, because, I mean, shit, I'm one of the very few Americans who's been to North Korea, for Christ's sake.
Yes.
You know, I mean, I've got to do things that most people would never, ever do. I mean, I've traveled the world. Let's not go on about that. But the bottom line is, had I not had those deep rooted insecurities to drive me to do what I do, as I said, I work on my insecurities, I wouldn't have the life that I have. So the way I look at it is, thank your insecurities, because they're a driver. There's that thing in your stomach. It's a motor, it's power, but you've got to harness it and you got to put it to work, and your insecurities will be your biggest blessings.
What I love about this, so John, is I'm working on a series right now, which is conversations with my 32-year-old self. Like, Johnny, you and I couldn't have these conversations when we were 30 because we didn't know yet. And that's what I love about this show, and what we're trying to do here is that you're sharing your experience as a 50-year-old man, and I am as well, because Marty doesn't know this yet. Right. And what we're trying to do is tell Marty that, dude, lean into your insecurities right now, because it's going to make your life easier over the next 20 years. Don't be afraid of them. And you 30-year-old, 40-year-old men listening right now, just stand naked, because the guy next to you is also naked too, scared. Right. And that's what we're trying to do here, is talk about it, Marty.
Yeah, I was going to say, now I'm very comfortable sharing my insecurities. I know most people my age aren't. Yeah. But, just me being a former athlete, me getting into fitness, I've dealt with a lot of, disrespect, and people not really, respecting my craft and what I do, or respecting the expertise. You see me and John going back and forth every day about fitness knowledge, but people don't respect that. That's not respectable, because I don't put on a suit and tie every day. So I'm right there with you, Keith, with people not thinking I'm the professional or corporate guy, so I'm less than that. So I deal with it, and I embrace it.
Yes.
Well, brother, here's the thing. It's really freaking goofy, but it's the truth. In the fitness industry, because there's so many people that don't actually do well. It's once you start stacking up the nice material shit that people go, oh, he's one of those in the fitness industry. So your time will come, brother. It's from most people look at the fitness industry from the outside in. They're not looking at it from the inside out. What they don't see is you do what you love every day. They're driving, they're sitting in traffic going to a job that they don't want to do. They're just waiting for Saturday because they don't have to do what they got to do Monday through Friday. And then Sunday comes and they got that whole day of, oh shit, I got to do it again on Monday. You don't have that, brother, but they don't see it.
We're talking men's insecurities with Keith. Jon CMartyFit here. Mornings in the lab here. It's coming up to the top of the hour here. We usually do our creative spotlight right now, but we're having a great conversation. So, Jimmy, we're going to do the creative spotlight about the 50-minute mark. We're going to do the lifestyle tip here in 4 minutes. We're continuing the chat around men's insecurities, and we got some comments coming in from the feeds right now. Good Time says that I struggle my whole life with reading and spelling. I appreciate you sharing that, Good Time. And I'm looking out here. I got some other comments here. White Trash, I see your comments as well. I appreciate all that. And Erwin Curtis says, it's okay if you can't paint the Mona Lisa with a hammer, as long as you can drive a nail into one with a piece of wood. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Jon, here's a question that I have for you that I'm really curious about. So you worked in some industries that's aesthetics, right? Bodybuilding, wrestling, strongman. I have to think there were a lot of men you worked with that had imposter syndrome, that walked into the dressing room that were.
I had it, brother. Jesus Christ. I mean, when it comes down to it, we won't go into how my career unfolded, but I was able to, I navigated 3 different high-level platforms.
Yes.
Every time I switched, I was like, all of a sudden I'm surrounded with these guys that have been doing this craft for so long, and I'm like new to it. And it was like, that's when I realized, okay, again, I got to lean into this. I got to be a student of the game. I got to listen to them talk. I got to ask questions, and it's like, it's rather than running away from the fact that I was, basically green, so to speak, I leaned into it. And the more I pushed into it, the better I got. And as long as I was getting better, I was feeling okay. If I wasn't getting better, that imposter syndrome got bigger and stronger.
Like, Jon, tell Marty and I, be vulnerable. Tell Marty and I and business application right now, that first moment walking into that first dressing room, in whatever it was, bodybuilding or wrestling or strongman, and that first moment where you're like, holy fuck, man, I don't know if I belong here. Like, what's going on in your head as a 30-some-odd-year-old punk, scared shitless? Are you grateful or are you scared shitless at that moment in time?
Well, the big one was this. So basically, and I, trained, off the grid, so to speak. I was training in gyms. Nobody knew who I was because I hadn't done anything, in an actual federation, so to speak. So when I came into strongman, I just zipped. I won my first contest, won my pro card, my second contest, went to the pro nationals, got a spot in the travel team, and off I was international. So we're talking like 5 contests, and I'm rubbing elbows with dudes that I've been watching on television for fucking last 10 years. So I remember this. It was somewhere in Canada, actually. It was maybe I think it might have been Quebec City. I remember everybody spoke French, not much English going. And I walk in, and in early days I would bring a coach with me because I was so green. I needed someone to tell me, look, just go do this, He was helping me strategize, and I was there before him. So I remember going to the hotel. I walk in the lobby, and nobody really knows who I am yet, right? And all of a sudden, I walk in the lobby, and I see, Magnus Samuelsson, Magnus for Magnuson, Sven Carlson. These are the guys that have been running the top of the world for a while. Literally, it was like I was shaking. My hands were spreading profusely, and I was like, I don't think I better introduce myself at the moment because I don't think I'm going to be able to say hello without actually stuttering like I got a Tourette's. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah.
And I was literally shitting in my pants, and I had to work hard to calm myself down. And it was like that moment right there. It was like looking back, it was the most beautiful thing because I had gotten there so quick. Nobody knew who I am, which was an honor. And at the end, they all said to me, they're like, man, you really proved yourself today, which was an amazing feeling. I should say today. It was a weekend contest.
Yes. Yeah.
That at that moment, I didn't know it was going to happen, and I was shitting in my pants. And it was to the point where it was the fighter.
Cutter?
It was a fighter. No, I couldn't have taken a dump. No, that thing was so tight. You shitting me? You put a piece of coal up there, you'd have had a diamond in 2 minutes. But it was like was the fight. It was the fight or flight to where honestly there was a piece of me that just wanted to leave.
Oh, I bet
it was that strong. And I'll tell you, I remember thinking, if you don't continue to push forward, you will never forgive yourself.
Yeah, I was just watching some old videos and just thinking about a conversation today, and I was putting myself into your shoes, Marty, and just thinking about just that moment, because there's nothing but masculinity in that moment, and we're talking about emotions. And Jon, as I've gotten to know you, I know you're a very emotionally intelligent human being, so you're walking into this extremely masculine situation. And you're like, okay, I'm going to have to figure this out. Naked as all can be. Like, really?
Dude. And I had the same thing when I switched and went to wrestling. My first ever match in New Japan Pro Wrestling, which was the company I wanted to work for.
Yes.
First ever match, man, was a main event with their star, Tanahashi. I was like, holy shit, man. I mean, at that time, I was like, put me somewhere just before the intermission. Give me an easy spot in the show. No, they wanted to test my grits. They put me right up there and just see what I could do.
But there's something to be said. Like, so what you've learned though, right, from those situations, and that's really the idea of running towards the fire, isn't it? Because I'm sure those emotions after that first match with Tamakashi, you're like, holy fuck, that was pretty awesome. And you're like, okay, that's done now.
What I realized in these situations was that extraordinary, and I didn't know it ahead of time, but I was able to keep my shit together. This extreme pressure, which made me want to run, made me want to crack, actually sharpened my tools, my sword so amazingly. I realized, God, I got so much better from going into those situations where it was like I was just completely shitting in my pants. And that's when I started to really realize, I was like, man, you just need to push into these situations. As much as they scare you, this is what's helping you do what you want to do.
We're talking men's insecurities, imposter syndrome, competency and skills and hobbies. And how do you feel when you got to fix something around the house or walk into a situation where you're like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm embarrassed because my father-in-law or my dad or my buddy thinks I'm useless. Men, we've all been there. We are all there. I got to change the tire. I don't know what to do. So I call CAA or AAA, and we're just kind of sitting embarrassed underneath our hands. Boys, I invite you as a 50-year-old man, if you're our audience right now, just accept it. We've all been there. We've all had those feelings of inadequacies. Learn to live with it, embrace it, walk towards the fire. All right, coming up to we're in the second hour here. We're going to do the lifestyle tip with Jon Andersen. Marty, we're going to take a quick break for you. We're going to do the Jon Andersen lifestyle tip and come back and keep the conversation going with our next topic around overcoming insecurities and finding inner peace. And we're going to talk sexual orientation and identity in the next topic, boys. So let's do this. Let's go over here. There we go.
Johnny. Here we go, baby. Here we go. Let's go. Let's do it. All right, the lifestyle tip. And this one is inspired by the conversation we had earlier about food and what you should be eating in terms of the conversation was satiate yourself. But really what I want to do is I want to help you guys understand that if you eat nutrient-dense foods and keep yourself from getting hungry, that you're going to have more energy, you're going to have more focus, your body will actually metabolize body fat easier. That sounds all great, but let's dive into the tip that's going to make that happen. Our world is busy. We always find ourselves in a position where something pulled us away from our schedule. And all of a sudden now we were supposed to eat, but it's going to be an hour from now and we're starting to get hungry. When that stomach growls, nothing good is happening. Your body's saying, feed me, and you're not feeding it. So there's a lot of things that can happen with that you really don't want to entertain. So the tip is this: keep a package of almonds in your pocket, not your briefcase, not your glove box. not your backpack, because you can get separated from those things in your pocket. You rarely get separated from your pants. And I suppose if you're separated from your pants, you're doing something fun. So go do your thing. But almonds in your pockets, and don't think that it can't be flavored almonds. Get those wasabi flavored. Get the habanero so you can enjoy your food. But ultimately, if you keep those in your pockets, it will keep you from getting hungry, which will give you more energy, more focus, basically more drive to do what you want to do in your life. And let's be honest, when you fuel your body in a way that makes you feel better, that gives you more energy, that makes you more productive, life gets better. So that being said, almonds in your pocket. So you see me out and about, especially if I'm at an expo or I'm someplace where, if I'm speaking, where my schedule is a little different, check my pockets, because you're going to find some almonds in there. They're most likely going to be wasabi flavored. That's my favorite. But the bottom line is this. The lifestyle tip is keep almonds in your pockets to keep yourself from being hungry, and you will feel the benefits very, very quickly. Rock and roll.
Here you go. Put some almonds in your pockets and no white trust. Jon is not playing pocket pool out of the event. He's actually pulling out the almonds from his pockets.
And let me, White Trash had said, well, he fasts and then he eats one meal with 3,500 calories. I want to address that for him real quick.
Yeah, please do.
So what you're doing, brother, is you're basically you're trying to put 10 gallons of gas in a 5-gallon tank. Your body can't use 3,500 calories in one meal. So think about this. Five of the 10 gallons of gas spills on the ground. So you put 3,500 calories in one feeding, you're spilling a lot of that nutrient or whatever you're eating, food. It's just spilling over, which in essence is not a good thing. So giving your body what it needs, the smaller, like giving your vehicle, say 5 gallons of gas every time it needs gas, is a much more efficient way of going about this drill. You don't want to waste food. Not to mention it's when you spill over, so to speak, when you eat too much, your body in many cases is going to store. So think of it from that perspective. Don't try to put 10 gallons of gas in a 5-gallon tank.
There you go. If there's one thing you're learning hanging out with us in the morning, guys, Jon wants you to eat and enjoy your foods, right? Eat your foods, enjoy your food. There's clearly a message getting here from the lab. And White Trash says, sorry, I'm dying over here. And Erwin Curtis says, I eat 6 unsalted raw almonds every single day. Good job there, Erwin Curtis. That's exceptional.
Don't be afraid to make that 12, maybe 15, brother. 6 is not that many, but great job. And real quick, just to go back to the whole fasting thing, I just want to let everybody know there's a purpose for everything. But the question is, what you to understand how to use a fast properly, you don't just do it because people are talking about it on Instagram.
If there's one thing you learn from Jon Andersen and Marty Fit is that there's a purpose for everything.
Yes.
Right? And every action is going to have a reaction. And I know it's a common cliche, but you're always going to have a give and take with something, right? So
I have some buddies that have massive success with fasting, but they also know what to eat and how much to eat in their eating window.
Yeah. And that's really the key with our personal fitness journey. You have to find what works for you. You got to surround yourself with people that you want to work with, and you surround yourself with that accountability system, that network of humans, those principles that you work with, and then execute the loop daily. Stack those habits and win. Hey, fasting might work for me. Fasting might not work for Jon. But at the end of the day, Jon's going to prescribe what we're going to find is going to work for me, and then you got to stack those habits to win. It's really, and as we learned from Arnold yesterday, boys, there's not a magic trick. The trick is consistent habits. That's the consistent trick that we all, frankly, struggle with. So, all right. So, Jimmy, we're going to do the creator spotlight at about the 15-20 minute mark. So, Johnny can go for a restroom break before the wrap. The cutter, yeah, but I do want to
baby. The cutter's 3 and out. It's already had its 3 for the day.
We're done with that here. So we're going to get into the back part of the conversation, and I don't want to rush this one through, but we're going to start it off. If we have to go into it tomorrow, we will. But it's this idea of men's insecurities with sexual orientation and identity, and it makes me curious about the world of sports, Johnny, that you came in, the world of sports, Marty, that you came in. But let's go into it. A 2022 study by the Trevor Project found that 75% of LGBTQ plus men reported experiencing significant insecurities about their sexual orientation. 75%. 40% of LGBTQ men reported feeling insecure about their identity in professional or societal settings. Gentlemen, pressure to conform to traditional masculinity leads many men to suppress their true sexual orientation and identity. Let's give some context here, boys. Despite social norms and social progress, many men still feel compelled to fit outdated standards, fear of judgment and rejection, always driving them to live inauthentically, causing deep psychological stress, sense of entrapment, and probably not living a full self. I'm going to start with you, Jon. I'm only going to assume that you've seen this journey in pro wrestling, strongman, bodybuilding, and the entire industry. How has it made you feel over time knowing that there's probably men you've worked with that aren't their true self? Because I know how much a true self you are and how much you believe in that true self. Jon, let's start this conversation.
I'll tell you, it's my mind just keeps going to the fact that, when people have a hard time, talking about their true orientation, my mind just goes to the place that it's because they're surrounded with closed-minded people. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, it's not like you can push a button and surround yourself with people that are going to be open-minded to the way that you really are or feel.
Especially if it's family, right, Johnny? Especially if it's your family.
Yeah. I mean, it's troubling. It's sad. And, because I can only imagine what it would be like to feel like the real you can't be seen. In my family, my extended family, we actually had, it would have been my cousin's boy. He came out, said I'm gay, and we're very, very, open-minded family. So we embraced him.
Yes.
But I can only, and he came out when he was in high school, which is, pretty brutal. I mean, anyway, so, and I was so happy the fact that he got to feel that support. But there's the flip side is there's so many people that don't have it. And man, it's a tough place to be. And I can only feel when I think of this, I don't think of my surroundings and me and the people in the real masculine environments I've been in, because it goes right to, my cousin's boy, because that was a firsthand thing. And, I don't know. I mean, my mind is just kind of going crazy here, but it's just, I feel for the people that have a hard time being honest with the people around them. I'm sure they're they want to, but they don't feel like they're going to be accepted. And that's brutal.
Well, Johnny, I looked no further than your shirt, man. Fuck mental wellness. Right.
Weakness.
I'm sorry.
Weakness.
I'm sorry.
Whoa. What kind of show is this, brother?
Fuck mental weakness. Right. And this topic brings emotion to my eyes and to my heart because it makes me sad. It really does. And Marty, I'm going to let you know in a quick second. It makes me sad because I pride myself. It's taken me a long time, boys, to become and live my authentic self and learn and be comfortable with my insecurities and everything. And Johnny, Marty, it makes me sad that there's men in our worlds that are our ages that can't be, for whatever their own reasons are. And I just want to wrap my arms around them and hug them and say, dude, what can I do to help? I know it's so naive to say, but it makes me sad. Marty, in the world of fitness, in the world of sports, talk about your experiences with this and friends and so forth, or, and just these expectations of masculinity and et cetera, et cetera.
All right. Well, this is, you know me, I got a unique perspective on everything. So this is how I feel. First of all, be you. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't be an issue to be yourself. If you happen to be around closed-minded people, get away from them, get them out your life. Even if it's family, even if it's, if it's coworkers, keep your distance. It's unfortunate, but people need to spend less time trying to make the world what it should be and just accept things for what they are. They're closed-minded, they're not going to accept you. Oh well, it's 2024. Your lifestyle is accepted now. You know that, right? You can't be discriminated against because there's consequences for that, right? So that's one thing. And to the closed-minded people, like, come on, bro. It ain't going backwards. It's not. We're not going back to the 1700s. You know. So it is what it is. Stop leaving ignorant comments. Just let it go. You know. People are not going to go back to everybody being straight. It's just the world we live in now.
Yes.
Now the issue. I got one more thing, John.
Yeah, go.
Now the issue in the gym, and I bring it up on my podcast and my platform a lot, where a lot of people try to act like I have hate for them. I don't have hate for them. My little cousin's gay. I hang out with him and his boyfriend. We go out and eat like it's nothing. But anyway. The issue is when y'all try to bring that lifestyle to people who are not in that lifestyle, right? When you try to force it there, right? So when you're in the locker room, the men's locker room specifically, act appropriately, okay? Don't touch people. Don't talk to people inappropriately. Don't walk around with the towel over your shoulder, right? Don't sit there and be at the counter with your butt sticking out. So that's what the first thing people see when they walk in the locker room. Be appropriate with it. And I'm literally not joking. I've seen some wild stuff. And now when someone responds to that, maybe negatively or in a way you don't like it, now you're calling it hate, and it's not hate.
Well, because that's what perpetuates the negative conversation, right? It's just like there's a way to go about it's just about being respectful. Like, let's be respectful, and everybody will be respectful amongst ourselves, right?
Yep. And I mean, just to give some more context, one of my teammates from high school, when we got to college, I think it was our junior year of college, he came out and said he was gay, and he was the first Division I basketball player to come out openly and say he was gay.
Yes.
And nobody had I think we knew that back in the day because some of the stuff that was going on. But, you know, that was still our guy. We didn't treat him any differently. So I think it's a lot more accepted than people actually give credit for. But I think the issue is when it's forced on other people, and that's where people clash and start saying reckless stuff.
Jon, have you, as you exited pro strongman, bodybuilding, wrestling careers, have you looked back and have reconnected with some men that were gay while you worked with them and have come out later in life, and you've talked to them and they're like, oh man, I wasn't living my true self, but now I'm grateful that I can. Have you had that experience, Jon, over your career?
You know, as you said it, those are real masculine environments. And
yes,
you know, as I think back, I mean, goodness. I mean, there's like right now, I can't think of one.
Yeah. Interesting.
You know, literally, I can't think of one. And just like Marty said, you know, it's tough for people to do that. In basketball, not to say that's not masculine, but I mean, we're talking about bodybuilding and, you know, pro bodybuilding, pro strongman, these are masculine, turbocharged. You know what I mean? And so, I'm just sitting there thinking back, and I can't think of one.
I would say in my gym specifically, it's a whole bunch of gay dudes in bodybuilding. It's a lot of them.
Well, but obviously there's a for sure 100%. But when you get to the highest, I'm referencing in that. In the world elite, not many of them get there. You know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What's unfortunate, Johnny, is that they're probably we're folks through your path, but I'm going to assume due to societal insecurities and societal pressures, it just wasn't that comfort to be their true self. And again, I know it makes you feel sad, me and Marty, and I just hope as we continue to progress in society, we can keep having this conversation less.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be controversial at all. But I just honestly feel like today, if you wanted to be that high level bodybuilder, and you were gay, I feel like you would get ultimate support now.
Yeah,
I don't really see them not getting support or them getting hate. I just don't see it now today.
Well, brother, be honest. I mean, every high level person gets hate. Doesn't make it, you know, what sex you know, what, no matter what your orientation is. But I'll be totally straight. I mean, I've seen some dudes that have come up that have been, I can't say that they were gay. You maybe a little flamboyant, like you might wonder, maybe they were bi, you know, and they don't get pushed because, you know, when it comes down to it at that level, they're building stars, and they can't have the, you know, the head of the federation, you know, in an interview say some goofy shit that's not gonna fill up the arenas.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Incredible.
You know what I mean? Yeah, there's no question about it. I mean, without mentioning names, there was a really, really high level bodybuilder that probably should have won the Mr. Olympia, but it's basically there was a tape or a video, whatever you want to call it, where early on in his career, he basically was doing what he needed to do to climb the ladder, and he did some sexually explicit stuff, and I think he should have won, but they never gave it to him because that guy wins. They put the microphone in his mouth. What he says shines the light over the whole sport. And so, it's a business, man. They're protecting themselves. The federations are protecting themselves. They can't have some dude saying a bunch of weird shit that's going to run off thousands and thousands of, fans who are buying expensive tickets.
That's it. And as I said, we've created this show as a safe space for everybody to belong to, for everybody to have a conversation, for everybody to feel if you're insecure, come to the show. And hopefully just being part of our conversations, we help you feel less insecure. And gentlemen, if you are in a situation where you are hiding your true self, I guess if I can speak on behalf of my brothers here, Jon and Marty, I'm really sorry. And I hope you can find some space in your life to find your authentic self, because I know that that's what we all strive to do here in the lab. So, all right, Jimmy, we're moving from this part of the conversation into our creator spotlight. Johnny, you're going to head over to a restroom break, and we are going to do the creator spotlight, shine the light up, and then we're going to come wrap the show up, boys. So, great conversation today, man. Holy smoke, great conversations. Okay, let's do this. Jimmy, we're going to go creator spotlight. We're going to pull up here. Boom. All right. Johnny, you're going to go for a restroom break, I think, correct? I'm going to pull you off stage. Yep. There you go there. Yep. All right. Jimmy, today's Creator Spotlight comes to us from somebody who's been engaging with our content, who I've been having some fun with over on the feeds. And she was part of the chat yesterday with So Young, Marty, and we all had some fun with So Young's show yesterday. But this human being is a LinkedIn storyteller, U.S. Army intelligence veteran. I'm always intrigued by intelligence, Marty, like somebody who does intelligence, like what the hell do you do? Like learning and listening and so forth, right? So she's a mortgage operations executive with a solid foundation in credit risk management, a proven track record of driving process improvement initiatives, resulting in swifter turn times and reduced post-closing deficiencies. She's specialized expertise includes FHA direct endorsement underwriting, along with comprehensive knowledge, et cetera, et cetera. She is it is an operations executive, a mortgage executive from Reno, Nevada. So today's creator spotlight for Mornings in the Lab is today. Yes. Oops. No, it is going to be this one here, Shelly K. Spence. And I know, Shelly, we are surprising you right now because I know you're sleeping right now, because I know we're not in your time zone, and you're going to get up this morning and you're going to get a surprise in your inbox that we are celebrating you here this morning, Shelly. And this because you have been really supportive of our content. You've been engaging with our content. You've been rocking and rolling with So Young here. I appreciate you, Shelly Spence, and I appreciate all the support you've been giving to us here in the lab. So, Nation, I invite you to check out Shelly K. Spence over on LinkedIn. She got a great profile. She has some great content here in the feeds, and she will help you get yourself all sorted out here with mortgage, LinkedIn storyteller. And like I said, she's a U.S. Army intelligence veteran. I want to get her on the show, Marty. I want to talk about what it's like being an intelligence veteran and what the hell does all that mean, right? So I invite you.
It sounds great, though.
It does. I know. Like, is she like a spy?
That's a great question. I'm not sure.
Right.
I think she needs to join the show.
I agree with that. So, Shelly, Creator Spotlight, Mornings in the Lab. We're celebrating you today here, Shelly. We want to invite you to the lab and learn, Shelly, if you are actually a spy for the U.S. military. So, Shelly, we're celebrating you here today. Congratulations, naming you the Creator Spotlight, Mornings in the Lab. We do it every single day where we take somebody on the platform and celebrate the hell out of them for the great work that they're doing out there on the network. So, Shelly, congratulations. White Trash, thanks for joining us today here as well in the lab. And all right, so we're going to work the last part of the show here. There's There's Johnny. Johnny, how you doing, pal?
Go ahead, John.
I gotta tell you, baby. I don't know what it was. I was taking a piss and I was shaking it off. It hit me like a lightning bolt. I somehow completely missed. There is a pro strongman. He was high level and he came out like a banshee. Well, I should say he came out when he was coming up. His name is Rob Kearney, and he is a representative for the gay community, and he is a high-level strongman, and everybody embraces and loves him because he owns it, you know. And basically, I like a perfect example. There was a contest, and you know, he's walking out, and there's always the hagglers, you know. And, you know, so he's walking out to do something. I can't remember what it was, a log lift, and which he just crushes, right?
Yes.
And some guy yells from the audience, you know, you faggot, or some stupid comment like that.
Yeah.
And so he stops, looks over and goes, I suck cock and I bench more than you. How does that make you feel? And it was like, yes, come on, baby. And so that's the kind of shit. What I'm getting at is he owned it he owned it all the way. And that's what he literally wants to do. If you check him out, Rob Kearney on Instagram, he's a great dude. He literally has a mohawk with the rainbow, wears it all the way.
That's awesome.
And so that being said, let this be an inspiration. He owned it so hard that people loved him for it. So if you're thinking, God, I don't know if I can come out or whatever it is, just if you're going to do it all the way, and you will be embraced. There's always going to be the shit talkers, but that's no matter what. But if you own it and you do it all the way, you will be embraced.
You know, maybe fingers crossed, maybe it's a dream, maybe it's a wish. Marty, it'd be cool to have Rob on the show and have that conversation, man, and just talk about this and talk. Sure. I'd love to have that, Johnny. But hey, white trash, I didn't mean to give you that closed-minded goodbye. More importantly, I wanted to say thank you for subscribing, and I wanted to say thank you for spending your time with us here in the morning, and thank all of you for joining us here in the morning show, Mornings in the Lab with Keith, Jon, and CMartyFit. We've started this show a number of months ago. We go every single day, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Our purpose? To help you guys get going, to help you guys move through life, to help you guys not hit the snooze button and get your ass out of bed. Boys, the last 3 minutes of the show here, 4 minutes of the show.
I wanted to add one thing on everything Jon just said. It would be good to have that conversation, because at the end of the day, we all still men.
Yes.
Right? We're still men, you know. And I mean, you know, some of my homies, you know, I got some gay friends, and they're like, we can still relate on some of the same stuff because we're men, you know.
Yes, 100%.
100%. Exactly. Well said, Marty. And we're all invited here, men. So we want to keep this conversation going. I'm really glad we had this chat here today, guys, because it's not one that men want to have, but we want to have it here, and we want you all to know you're invited here. You're welcome here. Everybody's welcome here. I don't care what skin color you are, what color hair you have, what sexual preference you have. If you have a heart and you like to love, come hang out with myself, Jon, and Marty. That's what we want to do. You have a big goal, you want to achieve it, come hang out with myself, Jon, and Marty. If you're feeling fat and you got a big gut, go knock on Anderson's door. It'll help you lose some weight. You want to get fit? Yeah, you're still a man. You want to get fit? Come knock on Marty's door. He'll help you get fit. But boys, I've been itching to try something here, and I think today might be the day to do it. So I got this magic cord, and we haven't used it yet.
Oh, God.
We have somebody we could call right now and surprise her, just like old school radio days, and see if she answers. Let's see if producer Kristina Flynn answers our call, and we'll bring her into the show and see how her morning went with dropping her kid off. So I don't think she's, I know she's not listening. I don't think she's listening, but we're going to find out right now. So I'm going to do a quick call to Flinner and see if she answers the phone, and see if she wants to be a part of the conversation. Let's see if this works. I've never done this before. Let's see if it works. Can you guys hear that?
Mm-hmm. It's ringing.
All right, we're calling producer Flynn right now.
Oh, hi.
Oh, is this producer Flynn?
It is.
Yes, it worked.
What are you doing?
We are calling you live on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, Jon, and CMartyFit. We have this magical cord, Kristina Flynn, and I have never used it to call anybody before. So we're like, hey, let's
testing it out, man. Testing it out.
let's
hey, Tina.
Mama Flynn and see how the drop-off of the kid is this morning.
You can't do that to a millennial. Millennials, when they receive a phone call, immediately assume someone
There's a problem.
dead.
That's it. There's a problem. What's wrong? Who died?
Yeah, I do that too.
I love it. I love it.
I looked at my wife and said, "Oh no, what's wrong?"
We just wanted to call you and say good morning. Your boys are loving you. We just had an awesome show. We just had an exceptional conversation around men's insecurities and sexual identity and all of that. And
I wish Tina was on for this episode, man.
Yeah.
Good chat. And we'll keep the conversation going, Kristina, because we're welcoming everybody in here. And we had an awesome chat. And I said, hey, let's Jimmy's saying, do we want to add another segment called Call a Friend? So we called our friend this morning, our one friend, Kristina Flynn, and we just wanted to test this out and see how you were. And hey, how was Bray's back to school day today?
It was great. She's on the SK side of things, so she's older now. She's walking in there like she owns the place. So, proud mama.
There we go.
Nicely done. All right. Well, we're happy to report we've had a great show, great conversation, great viewers, great dialogue. We didn't kick anybody out. And we had a lot of fun along the way. So thanks for preparing us. I wanted to test this cord out. It works. So now we can.
I'm the one to test it with. So that's great. I'm glad.
So now, nation, get ready for prank calls and prank moments from Keith, Jon, and Marty. Going to go back to 1984 and start. Marty's just shaking his head, prank calling people around the planet. Yeah. True story.
Oh no.
There
what
you go.
What have we gotten ourselves into?
That's
folks?
That's it. And hey, Kristina, we got a guest targeted here. We just talked about a very successful world-class gay bodybuilder who we want to get on the show.
It was a strong,
amazing,
strong man. Yes. Yeah. So
I'm happy to reach out to them.
Went against societal norms, and Johnny.
Yeah, no, I say Rob is a cool cat. He's probably, for his cause, he would probably be happy to do this. So I'll reach out to him.
Johnny, tell Kristina how he came out on stage there. Quickly, tell Kristina the story.
Well, he came out from way before that, but he's on the biggest stage in the world, and he's walking out to do a log press, and this is just kind of rough cut from what I remember.
The cord doesn't work that well. I can't hear Johnny.
Oh, can you hear him now?
Are we better now?
Nope.
Oh, I wonder what just happened.
I'll have to tell the story when she's back on the show.
Yeah, we'll tell the story there.
Yeah, we'll tell the story another time. Okay, Tina, we'll get this figured out. I thought you could hear Johnny. You can't hear him, eh?
That's good. It's good to know.
Okay, cool.
It's not fully there yet.
Okay, well, we'll keep practicing. All right, well, Tina, you enjoy the time with the family today. I appreciate you. We all appreciate you, and we'll talk to you a little later, okay?
All right, talk to you later.
All right, cheers. All right. Okay, boys, there we go. Kristina Flynn joined us here at Mornings in the Lab. We just did a quick little fun phone call her this morning. All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up. I got a meeting here in 30 minutes. I got a LinkedIn guy who's going to help us with some cool shit. So he's from London. He's like, hey, can you meet at 9 o'clock? I'm like, well, London. Really, but London, exactly. So Marty, Johnny, great conversation, boys. I appreciate you, Jon. I appreciate you, Marty. Great conversation, insecurities. I appreciate your vulnerabilities today, Jon. Marty, you guys sharing your experiences. We talked about food. We talked about, not eating for the sake of eating for purpose, not for pleasure. Don't eat just to fill yourself up. If you're eating just to fill yourself up, you probably haven't eaten the right food in the first place. That's really kind of how it goes down to. And we talked about egg deformities. So if you got a morning wood, don't roll over because you might break it. That's what we learned to start the show. All right, boys, Johnny, Marty, have a great day, guys. Great show. I thank you guys. I appreciate you guys and everybody who joined the show this morning as well. Enzo, Michael, Rich, White Trash. Who else we got here? We got Good Time as well. Thank you. Appreciate you. Jack, Doug, and everybody else. You guys have a great one. We'll see you guys tomorrow, 8 o'clock Eastern time, right here in the lab.